Hey guys, it's Brock Bowen here. You know me as the Lifetarian. I'm here with a beautiful friend of mine, Jared Asher. And just tell you a little bit about him on a business level. He's a business strategist. He's a licensee with Easy VA. He's done a number of things in his lifetime. He can tell you more about that. But the thing I'm really curious about today as we talk about momentum is about Zen. You know, talking about Zen loving dude we were just talking about a second ago. And literally what I love with Jared, one of the most fun conversations we ever had, you just been out in the middle of nature. You know, like a 7-year-old, when I can't remember if you had me on FaceTime or if you sent me a video or what it was, but I can remember this little trail you were walking along. It's like your secret spot. And you shared it with me, man. It was like, you know, when you're 7 and someone calls you up and goes, hey man, you want to see my room? I got bunk beds. Like, you know, when you're that happy, like you're a big kid now, you're doing great in business, but there's that joy and Zen and I resonate with that, man. So what are you up to at the moment?
Yeah, cool, man. Well, first of all, thanks for having me up here, bro. I really, really appreciate it. You and I go way back. For the community that's watching this, hello and welcome. Look, to be honest, I've always been into Zen. And I don't know if you know much about the other sort of philosophy. It's more Eastern-based as well. It's called Taoism. I've been into this stuff for the last probably 4 or 5 years now. And I'll share a bit of a story with you before I get into what I'm currently up to and what I'm doing. But how I got into this was that when I was about 25, just gone 30, I had a few challenges, a life-changing experience where prior to I was 25, I was quite a successful DJ, if you want to call it that. I was traveling around the world. I was DJing. I was living over in London, and I was playing in big clubs. I was writing music with some pretty big names, and I thought I had it all. I really did. I thought, okay, this is my life. Success. Whoa, sick. The truth is that something that was missing inside of me, and I didn't know what it was. It was a bit of like an empty void, and I couldn't uncover it. And things started to bubble. And I remember one day being in London, and I was with my now wife Shani, and I was lying there on the bed, and I just had this awakening experience. And I'm sitting there, and I sort of thought to myself, something's got to give. This is not what life is about. I swear it's not. I had enough money to travel. I was doing some cool things, but there was still something empty. And then I woke up. I just literally remember just lying there in the bed, and I just snapped. I thought, that's it. I need to change my life. I need to do something else. What is it? I fucking had no idea. I had no idea what it was, what it looked like, but I just knew something had to change. So I said to Shani, I rolled over, I tapped her on the shoulder. I said, Shani, we're going home. We're going back to Australia. And she goes, what? And this is after about 18 months of living in London and partying. Wow. And she's like, why do you want to do that? And I said, well, something's occurred to me. I just want to change my life, and I don't know what that looks like, and I'm willing to accept the unknown. So we got on a plane. 1 month later, got the fuck out of London, come back to Australia, and I hit this rock bottom period for the next year or so where I didn't know what I was doing. I knew I wanted to do something, but I had no idea what it was. Yeah. I started doing some self-analysis of what I was good at and what I really was passionate about. And what I really uncovered was that I was really passionate about people and really passionate about people's stories and I'm effectively just contributing to people. I just love it. I remember standing on a stage, when I was a DJ and DJing in front of people, the vibes and the creation of what these people were feeling at that moment. That was probably the thing that affected me so much about music and DJing is that I created that atmosphere. So when I did some work around that, I realized that it was my life's purpose was to support people in their journey to success and whatever that looked like. So back in Australia now, I was sitting here and I picked up a book, and the book happened to be a book by the name of Robert Kiyosaki. And you probably know who that is, dude. And it was Rich Dad Poor Dad. And it's been sitting there for about 6 months before I even looked at it. And I picked it up. I just read the back cover, and I resonated with the story. And I remember sitting there just going, "This is interesting." So I opened the first page, and the first page connected with me. It was like the words were just jumping out at me. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, "Okay, this is cool." And then I opened the preface. And then I read that, and then I read the first chapter. And before I knew it, I stayed up for the entire night. I read from start to finish the entire book. And after it, I jumped up, I ran over to Shani and said, "All right, I figured it out." She goes, "What are you going to do?" And I said, "I'm going to start coaching." She's like, "What's coaching?" And I said, "Well, I don't know what coaching I'm going to do, but I know I'm going to do something where I'm going to actually work with people and help them. I don't know what it fucking looks like. So I started doing lots of research, and it took me about a month to uncover how to start, what to do, where to go, what's the resources I need, what skill sets I need, etc. So then from there, I went to this. I went up to a place in the hinterland called the Organic Health Retreat, and this place on the coast is this place where people can go to really learn about coaching, but learn on a more spiritual, organic level, if it makes sense, not about the money. I went up there and spent a good weekend there. I learned some really, really insightful stories from people and skill sets around knowing how to coach and support people on a personal level. So then I walked away from that and I realized, okay, I've narrowed down what it is that I really want to do with my life. So then I called up a gentleman by the name of Aaron Witness. He's a good friend of mine, worked for a company called Australian Institute of Coaching. And then from there, I just got stuck into going and I spent 2 years at an institute learning coaching, learning skills, learning business. And I started mentoring the community. And man, that experience that was experience of say 5 years or 4 years. And that was a journey, man. That was an absolute journey what I went through from that period. But now here I am, fast forward 5 years, and I'm now working with a company called EasyVA as like a business strategist. Something that really, really occurs to me is that I love helping people personally, but I'm quite skilled when it comes to knowing how to create and structure businesses, knowing the direction of what strategy business needs to scale up. And I do that on a business level with a number of clients personally, but also inside the EasyVA model. So I've been fortunate enough to work with Monty Hook. He's a very good friend of mine, but he's also a very, very successful entrepreneur and business owner and mentor. And he's taught me some skills where I'm able to now work with high-level executives, high-level SMEs. And it's an exciting journey, bro. So I hope that's not too much information for you all, but
I love it.
Yeah, that's the story anyway.
I love it. Just it's good to have background because we hadn't talked about that. We caught up. We have these times that we catch up, but to get more of the story is always so good. That's why I love about jamming on these recorded conversations. And the thing that pops to me right now is for those people right now that are having that similar thing, people get it. You took action. People have it where every day they wake up. You know, more people suicide on a Monday than any other day of the week. And people have it every day. Yeah, it's statistically. Because and more heart attacks.
Really?
Statistically. And because that Monday they get up and it's like, fuck, I have to go to work. Yeah. And when you think about, what we do now, we love it. Yeah. Yeah. And it's an interesting thing, but that thing, you loved being a DJ, then you got that calling. How was it that you just knew? That's always the question, because some people, they always want to know that thing. They're like, well, I'm second guessing myself. I know that I'm supposed to do something different, but they don't just quite trust that knowing.
Well, I think for me, and this is where it comes into Zen and Taoism, is that everything is about intuition. It's about experience, right? It's not about what does the head tell you. What is the right logical decision? It's about what does your intuition say. If it feels right, you know that it's right. So for me, when I was in London, something wasn't feeling right. So I listened to that, and I'm like, I've got it all. I've got music. I'm playing. Love that feeling, but it doesn't feel right because it doesn't feel real. It just feels synthetic. And the feeling of being real, I think, is the most important part of our nature, is to allow ourselves to just be ourselves. And I think once you uncover that, I think that's when you start to attract what it is that you really want in your life. So when you let go of all the analysis inside your brain, all the shit that goes on from day to day adversity, you sort of start to allow space in your life to uncover what is actually real and what it is that you really want to do with your life. And I think for any of you guys that are looking to start a business, or you're looking to be someone, if whatever it is for you, listen to it. Don't hide it. Don't try to run from it. Don't try to analyze it. Just let it flow through you. One thing I learned from Taoism is that it's like, without getting too philosophical for you.
I love philosophy. I love as much philosophy as possible. That's what we love. Let's go.
So one thing is in the Taoist philosophy, it's all about water. The nature of water is that water itself just flows. And we as human beings, if we liken ourselves to the nature of water, we can flow just like the nature of water. We can become part of it. We're all part of this universe. So if we're part of this universe, that we're not separated from it. So how do we become a part of it and flow with it? And the nature of Tao, and that nature of water is a good analogy for us to just, instead of trying to fight stuff, just let it flow through you. Because once you have this calling that's within inside of you, and you know it and you feel it, don't run away from it. Go with it, and it will take you to wherever it is that you want to go. And that I think is a very powerful thing. So
for sure. Always, every time I do these calls, I just tend to drink about 1 liter or 2 of water. I just seem to need extra. It's interesting, huh? Since I started doing it, like just one of my things every day, the more water I drink, I just seem to be clearer.
Yeah.
It's a funny thing. Like, asked someone the other day, what's your favorite drink?
Yeah.
Like water or cups of tea. It's really good. I still love the coffee and stuff, but just drink so much water every day. There's something about it, right?
Well, it's everything, isn't it? At the end of the day, I mean, without water, it's an organic resource that if we don't have, we can't live. It is life, bro. At the end of the day, water is life, you know. And so, yeah, I hope that wasn't too deep for you guys, and I hope you don't think I'm some sort of cuckoo person. But at the same time, that's, I mean, you know, disregard business for the moment. Business is just, I guess, the layer on the cake. Do you know what I mean? So if you strip it all back, you get back to your real essential nature. And I think how you excel in business, how you excel in your life, is just stripping everything back to your natural organic self. And that's where you find the magic. I really believe that. So, yeah.
I love when people are so connected to that essence, then we can scale it.
Yeah, exactly.
We were talking before about, you know, my business right now and what I'm up to. And so like, having that clarity and then scaling it from there. I think a lot of times we try and scale something that's not really what we want. It's like a deck of cards. It falls over. I've seen that with so many businesses recently where it's flawed from the start and then they scale it.
Yeah.
So I think both elements are powerful. We're going to go through things I like to ask people too. Most business leaders I speak to tend to do different things when they wake up in the morning.
Yep.
And, you know, you've had a bit of a life change. You've been married. You now got some beautiful children. There's 3 now, isn't there?
3, bro. Yep.
Fuck yeah.
I've got some great hairs.
I'll get some when I get kids, huh?
Yeah. Yours are coming, mate. Yours are coming.
It's fun. I think I got a couple in the beard, man. I'm starting. Fun. So that thing, like, how do you start the day? What do you do?
Okay, so there's probably a number of habits that I do, and look, whatever it is for you guys, that's cool. For me, what works for me, I wake up in the morning 4:30. I will not wake up any later than 4:30. Reason being is I find, well, statistically, right, you're the most creative from the hours of 4 in the morning till 8 in the morning. Like that's where you have a lot of your highest level brain activity, and neurologically is where you can create so much within that time frame. So for me, I wake up at 4:30, and then I grab myself like a pot of hot water or an oolong tea, and then sit there and I do half an hour meditation, Zen style meditation, and then I read something that's relating to me personally. I do a lot of personal work. I wouldn't say it's personal development per se, but it's more sort of philosophical stuff about the universe, stuff about Zen and Taoism, things like that, stuff that I really connect to. And then from there, I exercise. So I go surfing and I spend an hour and a half on myself for my health, and I sweat it out. Come home, get the kids ready for breakfast, and then from there, I'm ready to kickstart the day. And come 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, man, I'm on fire. So, and then how I work throughout the day, I really structure my day where I do all of my my business related calls from the hours of 9 till 12, like my new calls, the new client relations calls, and then anything from sort of 12 o'clock onwards to say 4 o'clock in the afternoon is just recapping, touching base, more personal business stuff. So essentially the morning is the day that I really work the most. Come the afternoon, it's more sort of do whatever. So,
I like that. Since I've made what are the 3 most important things to focus on today? Get them done first.
Yeah.
When I get to bed, I can sleep easier.
Yeah.
And also I just feel like I got more energy at the end of the day. I always thought, man, it's weird. I always thought energy came from like eating the right foods and do all those things. It definitely does, or exercising things. But I found that like so much was draining me when I was not actually accomplishing what I was purposefully decided or meant to do that day.
It's flow, isn't it? At the end of the day, I think a lot of our journey, business or life, if we're in our natural flow and we're doing things that is natural to us, we'll always attract what we want at a much faster rate. So, a bit more philosophy for you.
I love philosophy. Hit me.
All right. So in the Dallas philosophy, right? Have you heard of Alan Watts?
Yeah, he wrote those, like, there's those amazing videos about kids leaving school and doing what you love, and yeah.
Amazing teacher. Anyway, so he's got this thing where he talks about likening human and society as to like a large scale river, and inside this river, we are essentially flowing down this river. Humanity is flowing down this river. Now, people that are in their flow day to day are the ones that are inside the river that have set up a sail inside a sailboat and they're streaming fast down the river. The people that are not in flow, the ones that are inside the river, they're moving down with the stream of the current. But unfortunately, these people are the ones that fight themselves. They battle their ego. These are the ones that, for some reason or another, never really crack it, is because they're always analyzing themselves. Now, these are the people that think they're swimming against the stream, but they're still flowing down the stream. But they're not really harnessing the power of the universe to take them where they want to get to. So I think flow is a big part of it as well.
So say someone meets resistance, that, you know, a lot of people, if you hang around with spiritual people, they always talk about almost getting green lights. That's your signal. I flow that way. But I know this, like when you go to scale and leverage and you do stuff, you get into the anxiety, you get into the overwhelm. If you're doing stuff you've never done before, it's challenging. So I go and surf. I'm about to interview my mate Tyler Fox. He's the world's biggest wave surfer.
Yeah.
If I was to go out and surf with him, it'd be overwhelming. It'd be anxious. I'd probably die.
Totally.
And so a lot of people just coast through life.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about this thing, like whether it's your philosophy or Taoism or wherever you want to come from, Zen, just hit me. When you hit resistance, you know, when you're tapping out.
Yeah.
Like I hit it a bit last year and knew I had to grow and evolve through it. And I came up with
I hit it last year too, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting one, you know, when you just come through and go through. What are some of the things you'd recommend that you do yourself or for people watching? Because there's two parts. There's two parts to how I would move through that. One of them is more of a personal thing, and the other one's more of a business thing. So if it's where you're starting your business or you're growing your business or you're looking to scale your business and you're hitting this tipping point, there's two things that you'd want to look at. One thing is that you want to look at what you're doing personally and how you're responding to it. Zen always teaches that if you just allow yourself to just be okay with whatever is happening to you in that present moment, then you can walk through it and you can almost dance with it. So I apply that. I really apply that principle. And I always think about it because there are times, even sometimes day to day, where you'll hit this tipping point or they hit this little plateau where you're like, fuck, and you become agitated for some unknown reason. It's okay to be agitated. Don't fight that. That's what's happening in that moment. When you allow yourself to be in that moment and just, okay, this is what's happening in this present moment, I'll be over it in 1 second. Yeah. Then it's gone. The stress dissipates because it's life. You know, you're a human being. So that's one thing. The second thing is when it's, when you're on a more business sense, if you get to that place where you're plateauing out, you're not making sales, something is going on. The reasons why you're hitting that point where you're either not making sales or you're not growing your business, you're having enough time in your hands, it's how you're structuring your business. It's how your business is being operated. So that comes back to you personally again. So then you do some analysis or you do some work as to look at, well, what is happening? Where is these challenges coming from? Pardon me, guys. I've got a car coming through. Just, can you hear me okay? Yeah, I can still hear you clear. It's not coming through the headphones too much.
So in that sense, you just look at it as part of the business. Where are you spending a lot of your time? If you're spending a lot of your time doing parts of your business where it's not in your flow, meaning your natural genius, you need to get rid of that shit ASAP. So you need to be focusing as much of your natural genius and what you love doing in your business as much as possible. So then that way, any of the stuff that's outside of your flow, give that to someone else. And which sort of ties into what I do on a business level, because we use staff as a means to scale our business, right? So we have capacity to just offload the lower value processes and tasks of our businesses to people that can just do it for us. I hope that really helps, because those two things really have helped me and helped me stay in my natural flow. I mean, obviously there are times when I'm still not getting to that place and you still get angry, But as long as you just go away and spend some time in nature and just reevaluate why the hell you're doing this anyway, you know, you'll get there. There's no question about it. But don't fight it. That's the key.
So say you're busy and, you know, the whole team are grinding you, your wife needs you, the kids are there and everyone needs you. You know that thing, that sense of responsibility, but you know, like you did back in London, that you've got to go out and spend 30 to 60 minutes in nature or go for a surf. How do you take that handbrake off and give yourself permission? What goes on there? Because a lot of people don't. They're like, I have to do this for everyone else, and then they blow up.
You've got to do things for yourself. And this is partly the reason why I do things first thing in the morning is because I allocate an hour and a half, 2 hours to myself in the morning, always. And without that, if I probably would be in a different place right now if I didn't do that. Mind you, I've been doing this for like 4 years, well, 3.5 years now. So I think that's really helped with my journey and helped me overcome the everyday adversity that can occur. With kids, it can be challenging. So it's just making sure that how you structure your day is paramount to your success. So that's about just, structuring your day, but also understanding that, you know, it's cool. Everything, it's part of life. It's a process, you know, be okay with it.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So say I wake up somewhere between 4 and 6, depending on the day.
Yeah.
How did you get to be able to be the person that can wake up consistently at 4 and 4:30 without, you know, when I do it, some days I used to have that slump. If I get up and train hard for an hour at 5 a.m. after getting up at 4, I don't have the slump. I can go until about 10 or 11 o'clock at night and I'm pumped.
Yeah.
What did you do to go through it? Like when you first did it, was it tough?
It was. And I speak to a lot of people about this, actually. I'll give you a quick story. Speaking to one of my clients, he's a real estate agent and he's very successful, actually. And where he's letting himself down is spending time with himself, you know, and he doesn't have success habits in place. And I think that's a big part of our success is having these habits. So for him, his everyday adversity eats him up. He can't handle the stress and it gets to him. So what I've gone through with him is to look at his daily structure, where he's spending a lot of his time in the morning and where he could reevaluate what he can do better and how it can be reassigned to where he can devote some more time to himself. What we've done is we've got him going to bed at an earlier time. We've got him to go to bed at, say, 10 o'clock at night, no later, because it used to be midnight. So that 2 hours that we've cut off of nighttime enabled him to have 6 hours of sleep, of REM sleep, or deep sleep, which is what your body needs. So you wake up the next morning to be at your highest capacity, highest state of consciousness. So he now wakes up at 4 o'clock or 4:30, same as me. And he now has been doing this for the last, say, 6 months. And his business is now obviously steadily growing because of his habits he's creating for himself. It took a little bit of challenge of time to set that process up because, you know, being that, you know, day to day, if stuff comes up, it doesn't happen overnight, but as long as you're disciplined to make it happen, then it will happen. It's like tying a shoelace, you know, you're not going to be disciplined to start tying your shoelaces as a younger child, but after you develop that habit, it becomes a habit.
Yeah,
so
I like that.
It usually takes about a month or even a month and a half to really master that habit.
It's cool too, because you mentioned there you got the business growth as well. It's one, he becomes a better person, but two, he becomes the business growth. When he joined you on a business level, I bet he wasn't expecting to have that conversation.
Oh man, no. It was all my clients that I work with on a personal level for their businesses outside of EasyVA, right? We go through a process where for the first 3 months, it's just setting up the business strategy, really discussing what the business needs.
Yeah.
What happens is, and I don't really expose this to them, anything relating to them personally, I don't even touch on that. I just bring it up to them. I don't even talk about it. And the reason why I do that is because sometimes they don't want to address that stuff.
Yeah.
So I take them through a process where talk about their strategy. Once their strategy is created, they know the direction they're going in. We've re-engineered their business for the next 12 months. We start to really delve into their personal habits and what is really holding them back from achieving the success that they want. And let me tell you, that stuff is hard hitting and it's deep, but man, the results is just, it's immense, you know, seeing, because everything, business is, it's personal, right? And it's business, everything underneath it all is you. It's all part of you. And you can only grow as far as what you're able to personally. So, yeah.
It's fun. I was just having a conversation with a lady earlier, and it was like that. Like, she's hitting certain levels in a business.
Yeah.
And she's so phenomenal, but then she knows that the next part of the journey is internal.
Yeah.
You can feel it. But yeah, it's interesting, this whole conversation we have with people. I love it.
Isn't it cool, man?
Freaking, can you even imagine when we left school, be having a life like this?
I know. It's amazing, right?
I'm stoked.
And I think, look, if you don't mind me just talking shit right now, I think as I look past, I look back 5 years and look for the next 5 years, where I'm going, where I've been, etc. I think, I think it's all somewhat relative. Like, you can look back at the past and say where I've come from, and it's an amazing story. You can look into the future 5 years ahead and say this is going to be an amazing journey for the next 5 years. But I think really what it comes down to is stop worrying about that stuff. That stuff is always going to be there. I think bring it all back to what's happening at this present moment, and you master this. Whatever happens today will always be the outcome tomorrow. And I think that's what's most amazing, And I think people get caught up looking in the next 12 months. They get caught up, what's going to happen if I don't do this now, and blah, 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 blah. Forget about that shit. Just focus on what you do best to do it right now, and success will ultimately be yours, So
the people who keep saying, when I have this, then I'll be happy. When I have the business success, whatever. Yeah, it's interesting. Cool. We're going to hit the people now with 5 powerful daily habits that they can implement right now to build momentum. Off the cuff. Let's go. What do you got?
Okay, for me. Okay, asking me a question?
Yeah. Jared, what are 5 powerful daily habits you can implement to build momentum? There you go. Bought yourself some more time.
Learn about yourself.
Yeah, nice. 1, learn about self.
Yep. Study yourself.
Nice.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'll strip that back. Study yourself, learn about yourself. That's 1.
Yeah.
Yep. Eat well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. Train a lot. Contribute to others. And be happy.
I love that. Simplicity. It's so good.
Yeah.
Which is what the Dell is about. That's one of my favorite texts, is the Dell.
Yeah.
And I'd love to be able to read in it without the translation.
Yeah.
That's one thing, actually. I'm just choosing that as a preference, that I will be able to read.
Mate, it will change your life. I've studied that thing back to back. And I'll tell you this now. It was probably the hardest read ever. But the cool thing about it is it's very subjective. So the chapters that are in that the 88 chapters that are in the Tao Te Ching, it's left up to the mind to interpret. There's no real okay, this means this, because when you put words on things, it's very hard to articulate. It's all about experiencing and understanding from an internal level. That's when you start to, I guess, appreciate it and acknowledge it for what it is, as opposed to trying to analyze what it is and think about it, So, yeah, you love it, bro.
I've read it in English, but I'd love to be able to read it in its original form.
Yeah.
But I'm going to study it more. I'm going to pull it out again now. I've got it in the office.
Oh, yeah. Man. And the cool thing about it, dude, is it really, 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 it comes down to how you operate from day to day, your business, your life, everything, man. And, man, I recommend it to everyone, whether you're religious or not religious, or you love that philosophy or you don't, it doesn't matter. Read it, because it'll change your life. It really will. So
cool. We'll put that in comments below. I'm going to hit you with, we just got time for a couple more quick things.
Yep.
So what we're going to do now is this. What is momentum to you? We talked about flow a bit. We talked about the Tao. I just talk about momentum, and I'm using it as a bit of a word right now. I'll tell you what I mean after I ask you.
Yep, go for it.
What's momentum to you?
Momentum to me is being in your natural state day to day, every single day. It's not about how much you do one day. It's about how little you do each day. So if you constantly working on your craft, constantly supporting others, helping, contributing, being happy day to day, momentum just organically is the byproduct of whatever you do.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Mine, I love that too. It's so aligned with what I'm going to share next. When we see the birds flying.
Yeah.
How they're just together.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of see momentum, or the whales go from the south to the north and back down again.
Yeah.
Like, it's always interesting to me, we think of each other, then we bump into each other on the Sunshine Coast.
Oh, no. How is that, dude?
It just happens, Another friend of mine, Costa, is this guy that does gardening. He's got a big beard, and we'll bump into each other. Another friend of mine, Andrew, you get caught up. If you're thinking about your business, your sales, your leads. I launched out this new program. I'm making the first call and the first person doesn't answer. I could have been bummed out about it. I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to the beach.
Yeah.
Go down to the beach. My friend from California is there. I didn't even know he was in Sydney. I thought he was in Byron Bay. He's on the beach and he's Speedo's first person I bump into. Something
That's amazing,
greater.
man.
If we let go, there's always something so much greater in the flow.
Brother, speaking my language, man.
How
So
good's
good,
life?
hey.
Yeah, man.
Oh, dude.
So
Isn't
blessed.
it cool? I just on this note before I know you got to shoot off. We haven't got too much time, but I got a good friend of mine, and I'm actually doing some personal mentoring with him. He's actually working inside EasyVA right now, and one of the things that he's going through is some personal challenges, and I can see that there's a block in front of him. I can see this brick wall, and one of the things that he always does is turn to strategy. Turn to, okay, well, if I apply this strategy, it's going to be the best thing for me. I'm going to go and learn about strategy. But strategy means nothing if you haven't mastered yourself. And I think for him, it's like, all right, I've analyzed and looked at what's holding him back. He's holding himself back. So now I've got him in this absolute rigorous journey of just understanding him, studying himself, self-knowledge, reading all the books that he needs to read to master his own craft and mastering his own internal self, and let go of that ego that's holding him back. And the cool thing is that he's going through it and he's learning it. And I think when people really go through it and they accept that they want to go through it and they adapt to it, just magic really occurs, bro. And I think it's cool, bro. So
I'll be interested to see what pops with him next, because so many people present what they've been good at for 50 years to the world and they do the same thing over and over again and they miss out on the magic.
Yeah.
And we're talking about it before. Like, it's great. We all like to be wealthy and have the money, but that deep internal alchemy and connection to ourselves.
Yeah.
To have that plus the riches of the world.
Yeah.
It's so much more fun.
Love it, man. Love it. Well, dude, I know we're on a time frame here. Thanks for your time, man. I actually really, really appreciate it. So
I love it. Just seeing you in your genius zone, coming out with a different thing, straight off the cuff, bam, just hitting with it. It's a pleasure to talk to you about it. Guys, I'll leave some details how you can get in contact with Jared. Amazing friend. Just love him. And
cheers, bro.
I'll
Mad dog.
You ready? We're going to give him 1, 2, 3. Bam! 1, 2, 3.
Bam! That's a bit off.
Oh, let's do it one more time.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Bam!
Woo! Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys.